Boleh eh?
Okay,
Alright.
boleh.
Going live. Live. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Nadia Hani Nazlan from the Academic Assessment and Evaluation Division atau nama mesranya Bahagian Pentaksiran dan Penilaian Akademik UiTM. Thank you for being with us. Okay, for today's information session on Turnitin, we have Encik Mazlan Abdul Latif from Apex Knowledge, the sole Turnitin vendor for the Malaysian market. So I don't want to take away too much of your time today because Encik Mazlan has a lot of agenda in hand and he's gonna show us the hands-on approach ataupun cara-cara penggunaan yang betul untuk Turnitin lah. Okay, untuk tidak membuang masa lagi. So I'm gonna hand over the session to Encik Mazlan. Encik Mazlan, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Nadia. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. And very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thanks to Dr. Nadia and BPPA teams for organizing the sessions today. Thanks to everyone for joining the sessions. And of course, I'm glad to conduct the sessions today to assist you, to share with you what Turnitin is all about. Okay, so my name is Mazlan, representing Apex Knowledge Sdn Berhad. Okay, so just for information, Apex Knowledge is not Turnitin, but we are the exclusive reseller for Turnitin in Malaysia. Okay, because we got the rights to represent Turnitin since October 2007, so practically we have been around for the past 13 years. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do today is I go through a brief introduction what Turnitin is, and then we go to the hands-on training, a step-by-step training, okay, and then I will go a live demo. I will show you a sample account of Turnitin, okay, and then the last sessions will be Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can ask, and then I will answer the questions later on, okay. Alright, so a little bit about Turnitin. Turnitin is an educational tool that allows educators to check for the authenticity of students' work. Okay, Turnitin helps you as lecturers to engage with your students to learn to write a better paper and become a better writers. Okay, to promote critical thinking, and the most important thing is to ensure academic integrity. It was started on 1996. By the company called Turnitin LLC. Okay, this is US-based software, and the founder is Dr. John Berry. Okay, Turnitin is completely web-based. It works exactly just like your Facebook account. For example, in Facebook, you'll be using your personal email and password to log in. For Turnitin, you'll be using your official email and password to log in. The same thing, no CD, no software. You don't have to install anything. Okay. Turnitin consists of two tools, okay, the originality check and the grade mark. Okay, for the originality check, previously it was known as plagiarism prevention software. But as a part of Turnitin rebranding strategy, they renamed as originality check. Okay, the main reason is because of the wrong perception towards Turnitin. Because last time whenever we talk about Turnitin, people will think Turnitin detect plagiarism. Turnitin catch student cheating. In fact, this is not true. Okay, what Turnitin does is to match your students' papers against the collection of the database. Okay, so you as a lecturer, you have to use your own judgment to judge result given by Turnitin whether there is plagiarism or not. Okay, Turnitin is only tool to guide you, and the most important thing to save your time in detecting where your students copy from. Okay, Turnitin doesn't detect any plagiarism. Okay, and then the second one is grade mark. Okay, grade mark is for online marking. So instead of using red pen to mark on hard copy, by using Turnitin, you can mark online, you can put comments, you can even put voice comment to your students' paper. Okay. Alright, so this is what Turnitin will do. Except student papers, everything has to be in e-format. For example, Microsoft Word, PDF, HTML, as long as it is text documents. Okay, So students have to have their own Turnitin account and students have to submit their paper by themselves. Okay. So when the paper is submitted to Turnitin, it will be matched against 3 types of databases, and then Turnitin will check and produces what we call the originality report. Okay. So from the originality report, lecturer students can see the similarity index, the percentage of the matching. Okay. And this is a brief idea how it works. Okay, students' paper or even your personal paper, okay, when submitted to Turnitin, it will be matched against a billion and billion of contents. Okay, 3 types of databases, and then Turnitin will give you the report. Okay. This is the reports will looks like. Okay, on the left will be the students' paper text, student assignments. Okay, and then on the right are all the matching sources. Okay, box number 1, it comes from the source number 1 and website number 1. Box number 2, source number 2 and website number 2. Okay, so you can see at the box number 1, the whole box is highlighted into red color, but the word just a short time period in gray color. Okay, so that will be the student's original words. Okay. So when I click at the box itself, Turnitin will show up a side-by-side comparison. Okay, as you can see from the original websites, in the space of a few minutes, but somehow these students actually change it into just a short time period. Okay, so this is how Turnitin will do the detection. Okay, I was a student before. So as a student, we attend to paraphrase, change the wording sequences, replace the word here and there. It still can be highlighted. Okay. And then each paper will have a very unique paper ID, the author name here, and then the date of submission, and the word count as well. Okay, and then here 94% overall similarity index. It doesn't mean that 94% plagiarism. Okay, it's 94% similar to the collection of the database. Okay, so you as a lecturer, you have to use your own judgment to judge whether all the highlighted contents are plagiarism or not. Okay, if not plagiarism, if students not plagiarize, okay, as a lecturer, you can exclude the sources, so that will brings down the percentage. Okay, and then lecturer students can download and print the whole report. Okay. Right, so whatever that you are looking at now, we call as text-only report. In your students' assignments, they might have pictures, diagrams, graph, everything will be taken out automatically, okay, because Turnitin only scan through all the text. Okay, this is the first initial report from Turnitin. But now, Turnitin came out with a new feature, the latest interface, what we call the Feedback Studio. Okay, so on the Feedback Studio, okay, Turnitin showing you the original format of students' paper. Okay, if they have any pictures, diagrams, graph, everything will be shown at the original place. Okay, same thing, student assignments on the left. Okay, and then on the right, you can see 2 different tabs with different colors. Okay, so red color is for originality check and the blue color is for grade mark. Okay, for Turnitin online marking. Okay, again, lecturer, students can print, can download the whole report. Okay. Okay, 3 types of databases. The first one is a current and archive internet copy. Currently, Turnitin has 80 billion pages index, and the good thing is it's still counting. So every day, Turnitin will index a new web pages into the database. Okay, so if you find out that your students like to copy from any particular websites, you can let us know. Okay, we will ask Turnitin to index into the database for free. Okay. And then the archive copy, I'm sure without Turnitin, some of the lecturers must be using Google to check their students' paper. Okay, according to Google technology, they are showing you the information that hits the internet 5 minutes ago. Okay, so assume that your students do the assignment now and maybe they submit 3 months or 6 months later, the information might not be in Google anymore. But for Turnitin, they will archive everything. Okay, even your students submit 3 years or 5 years later, it still can be highlighted. Okay. And then the second one, students' papers submitted to Turnitin since 1996. So whatever you as a lecturer or your students submit, everything will go to Turnitin database for future matching. Okay. And the third one, make Turnitin very special, millions of publishers' contents. Okay, all the journal articles. Okay. The Crossref is the latest partnership that Turnitin has the largest scholarly comparison database, okay, from STM publishers, for example, like Elsevier, IEEE, Sage, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Wiley. Turnitin also has the content partners with the leading aggregators, for example, like Cengage, EBSCOhost, Emerald, Pearson, ProQuest. Okay, so these are the list of publishers and the partners that Turnitin has all the online content in the database. Okay, on all the publication contents, okay, in the database. Okay. So in order for you to use Turnitin as a lecturer, okay, there are 4 easy steps, very simple, okay, very straightforward. Okay, the first one, one-time process only. Of course, you have to create your own user profile first. Okay, so once you got your own user profile, the role of lecturer will be create class and create assignment. Okay, once you have created the class and created an assignment, okay, you have to provide your students with the class ID and enrollment key. That's it. Okay, that's it. And then for the students, so as a student, you just enroll in the lecturer class and start submit paper. Okay, so the role of lecturer will be create class and create assignments. The role of students to submit paper. Okay, but in order for students to submit paper, they have to enroll under your class. Okay, so in order for them to enroll under your class, they will need the class ID and class enrollment key. Okay, I will cover all the steps during the hands-on training. Okay. Okay, these are the list of our clients in Malaysia. When we start on 2007, we only have 6 customers.
Sorry, Encik Mazlan.
Yeah.
I'm receiving comments on the chat box in the YouTube
Okay.
channel that the participants are saying that they can't hear our voice. Just checking. Can you
Okay.
hear me? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I very
Yeah.
clear, loud and clear.
Right. Okay. What about so far sound okay. Increase the volume. Okay, Encik Mazlan, kalau boleh kita increasekan sikit suara kita tu.
Okay,
Boleh,
no
Encik
problem.
Mazlan. Baik. Terima kasih. Minta maaf saya
Okay.
mengganggu. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so these are the list of our clients in Malaysia. When we start on 2007, we only have 6 customers. Okay, the first 2 is Sunway and Monash University. Okay, they have to use Turnitin because of the training program from UK. And then the other 4, the International School, Dalat, Monkiara, Kuala Lumpur, and International School of Penang. Okay, so when my colleagues visited them and asked them why they need Turnitin for kids, okay, 6, 7, 8, or even 9 years old, so they told that the main intention of them use Turnitin is not to catch the students, but to groom the students from young. Okay, to educate the students from young. So when the students grow up to university level, they will know what to do. They will know how to write a paper. Instead, just copy and paste blindly. Okay, that's their main objective. Okay. And you can use Turnitin from anywhere, anytime around the world, including through your smartphone and your tablet as well, as long as you have connection to the internet. And Turnitin does support 30 foreign languages, including Bahasa, Mandarin, Arabic. Okay, so if you have any paper in Bahasa or Mandarin or even Arabic, you can try to submit. I'm sure there will be a detection. Okay. Okay, this is a link for guides and resources. Okay, so all the online guides and resources for the Turnitin admins, for the lecturers, and for the students. Okay, maybe later on I will share this link to Dr. Nadia to share to all of you. Okay. All right. So is there any questions so far from the YouTube before we go to the hands-on session?
So far, we haven't received any question from YouTube, so probably we can jump into the hands-on session, and probably they
Okay.
would have questions during that
All right.
session.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. So if no questions, we go to the hands-on training, a step-by-step training. Okay. So the file that you see in my screen on the screen is the training guides for the lecturers, and also the training guide for the students. I will cover for the students part later on. Okay, so on the first part I will cover for the instructors, for the lecturer, how to create and how to create class, create assignments, and so on. Okay, so these are the training guides for the instructors. There are 4 easy steps, very simple. Okay, so this is what we are going to cover today. Okay, I will share these guides for the lecturer and for the students to Dr. Nadia. Okay, to forward to all of you. Okay, all right. So now I go to the Turnitin website, turnitin.com. Okay, so for those of you who already have Turnitin account, okay, for those of you already have Turnitin account, so you just open the Turnitin website, turnitin.com. You just click on the login button here on the top right, login. Okay, so you just put in your email address, password, and then just click login. Okay, and then for those of you who already have Turnitin account but you've forgotten your password, okay, you've forgotten your password, what you can do, you can see here forgot your password. You just click here to reset back your password. Okay, so you just click forgot password, and then you just put in your email address and then your last name. Okay, and then you click next. Okay, and then you have to answer the secret question. Okay, you have to answer the secret questions. Okay, if you forgot the answer, you just click forgot answer. Then Turnitin will send a link to your email to reset back your password. Okay. If you can answer the secret questions, you can straight away set the new password for your Turnitin account. Okay. So for those of you who already have Turnitin account but you've forgotten your password, just reset back your password. Okay. For those who already have account, just log in to your account. Okay. For new users of Turnitin, okay, if they have any new lecturers, you don't have Turnitin account on the UITM. So what you can do, okay, you have to request the Turnitin account from the Turnitin admin from BPPA or from each, I believe each faculties, they have their own Turnitin admins. You can request the account from the admin. Okay, what you need to do, you have to provide your first name, last name, and UITM email address. Okay, UITM email address, and then the admin will add you for Turnitin account, and then you will receive the welcome email from Turnitin, and then you just follow the step number 1 here, which is setting up new account. Okay, so you just follow all the steps to complete the uh, registration of account. Okay, all right. So now for those of you who already have account, you just log in. Okay, so I just log into my account. Okay, so you just put in your email address, password, and then you just click login. Okay, so once you log in, okay, once you log in, this page you will see, for example, my account, University of Apex Knowledge. Okay, so once you log in, you can see the institution name or you can see the faculty name. Okay, so for example, if you are from the Faculty of Engineering, you can see the faculty's name, Faculty of Engineering. Okay, if you're registered under the faculties, you can see your faculty name. And then at the top here, you can see the black bar. So you can see your name will be appear here. Okay, your name will be appear here. And then here instructor. So this is instructor. account. Okay. All right. So that's it for the account creation. So for the first part, I will cover for instructor first. Okay. Later on, I will cover for the students. Okay. So for this part, I will skip the step number 1, which is to setting up new account. Okay. Because I believe most of you already have account. Okay. So if you've forgotten the password, just reset back your password. If you don't have account, you can refer to the training admin for each faculties or the main admin from BPPA, Dr. Nadia. Okay, so they will create an account for you. Okay. All right. So we just completed step number 1, which is to setting up new account, or you just log into your account. Okay. Now we go to the step number 2, which is to create class. Okay. Create class. Okay, as you can see in my account, okay, I already created a few classes. Okay, if you don't have any classes, so you can create the class. Okay, so on the account, you can see the add class button here. So what you can do, you just click on add class. Okay, you click on add class button. Okay, and then you can see the create a new class here, class settings. Okay, so the first one, class types. Okay, for the class type, when you click, you can see 2 types of classes. Okay, 2 types of classes, standard class and master class. Okay, master class, it doesn't mean that for your postgraduate students. Okay, so you will only need to use master class when you have a group of tutor under you. Okay, you have the teaching assistant under you. Okay, and then at the same time, you want to have the full access to each of your tutor classes, your TA classes. Okay, so for normal submissions, we use standard class. Okay, so for standard class, you will log into your own accounts and you will have access to your students only. Okay, you won't have access to any other people classes. Okay. All right, and then next, the class name. That will be your subject name or subject code. Okay, so for example, I here MGM PMG 4134 logistic management. You can put semester, you can put year, it's up to you. Okay, so for the class name, you can put anything. You can put the course code, the subject name, you can put the semester, you can put year, it's up to you. Okay. Okay, and then next, the enrollment key. Okay. Enrollment key is the key that you have to provide to your students in order for students to enroll under your class and start submit paper. Okay. Maybe you can put the course code PMG 4134, or you can put something simple like password ABC123. It's up to you. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, and then next, subject area and student level. Okay, so you can choose the subject area and the students level. Okay, so for these two, subject area and student level, just for Turnitin record purpose, it doesn't affect anything on your settings. Okay, just for record purpose. Okay, and then the last one, the class end date. Okay, class end date, by default, the setting is 6 months. Okay, so default setting is 6 months. So anything longer or shorter than 6 months, you can change accordingly. Okay, but for the class end date, for the class period, okay, it's recommend to you to set the class end date according to the semester. Okay. The reason is because, okay, if you set the class too long, like 1 year, 2 years, or even 3 years classes period, okay. So, for example, if let's say you create 2 years for the class, and then the next year your students already graduate, okay. So even your students no longer in your class and the students already graduate, okay, but the account for students, the license for students still active even though your students no longer with your ATM. Okay, so when the students account still active, so another students, okay, another students, new students who don't have Turnitin account, they cannot enroll, they cannot use Turnitin. Okay, because the license for the existing classes still active, so consider active users, even though the students is no longer with your class or with UITM. Okay, so it advisable for lecturers to set the class end date according to the semester. Okay, so for example, I set my class until end of December, or the semester, maybe the semester end in February 2022, so you can set until February 2022. Okay, okay, it's best for you to set the class end date according to semester, okay, to control the license, the number of license for the students to enroll in the class. Okay, and then you can click submit. Okay, so every time when you create a new class, okay, this page will pop up. Okay, they will tell you that you have just created the new class. Okay, for example, I created PMG 4134 Logistic Management Sem 1 2021. Okay, with the class ID and enrollment key. Okay, so enrollment key is the key that you have set just now in your class setting. Okay, you set in your class setting, and the class ID, okay, the class ID is automatically generated from Turnitin system. Okay, so each of you will have a different class ID. Okay, if you create multiple classes, okay, so you will have a different class IDs. Okay, even though you created the same class name, okay, with the same enrollment key, okay, you still have this different class IDs. Okay, and then you can click continue. So I just created the class here, PMG 4134 Logistic Management Sem 1 2021, with the class ID to the left of my class name. Okay, so if you forgotten your class ID, you can always refer to the left of your class name. Okay, so this is your class ID. Okay, if you forgotten your enrollment key, or you like to change your class end date, what you can do, you can click edit button here. Okay, so when you click on edit button, okay, it brings you to the earlier page. Okay, update the standard class. Okay, so you can see your enrollment key is here, or you can change your class end date. Okay, you can change your class and date, and then you can click submit. Okay, so you as a lecturer, you can create as many classes as you want. Okay, you can create as many classes as you want. All right, any questions for the class creation so far?
We don't have questions regarding the class creation per se, but
Okay.
we do have questions on how does or do we have access for postgraduate students? Can they actually have an instructor's access? So I think the answer for that is no.
Yeah.
Although you are a postgraduate student, as long as you are a student in UITM, you do get the service for free, but you still need to go through your instructor. So the instructors or the research supervisors, they will need to create a class for you, and they will provide you with the class ID as well as the passkey as shown by Encik Mazlan just
Yes,
now.
correct. Yes. All right, so for students, I will cover students part later on. Okay. All right, so we just completed step number 2, which is to create class. Now we go to the step number 3, which is to create assignment. Okay. All right, so in order for you to create assignment, okay, you have to click on your class name. Okay, so you just click on your class name here. Okay, So before you or your students can submit a paper, you first need to create an assignment. Okay, at least one assignment. Okay, so you just click here, add assignment button. Okay, you click on add assignment. Okay, so you click on add assignments and then you can see new assignments. Okay, new assignments. So on the left, the first one, assignment title, you can put, for example, like chapter 1 or research paper, thesis or final projects. Okay, so if you have the name of the assignment title, you can put it here. Okay, so if you have the name of the assignment title, you can put it here. Okay, and then the point value. Okay, point value is optional. Okay, actually for the point value and the post date, okay, it's unavailable for UITM because this too is for turning in grade mark, for turning in online marking. So because turning in UITM only subscribe for the originality check, so you don't have the grade mark. Okay, so the point value is for grade mark. Okay, for example, if let's say this assignment chapter 1 carry 20 marks, so you can put here 20 without the percentage. These assignments might carry 50 marks or 100 marks, so you can put the marks here, the point value for the assignments. Okay?
Sorry, Encik Mazlan, we do have a question. Is
Yeah.
the service offered, or do you have a pricing for individuals?
For
Like,
grade mark,
no, for similarity, for originality. Like, say a student, they want to purchase the account individually. So can they actually do that?
no. For
Yeah.
students, you cannot do that because anything you have to go through your lecturer or your supervisors. Okay? And also, you are not encouraged to purchase. Yeah, because right now we can see from the Facebook, Shopee, Lazada, some people are selling the service for turning in. Okay, you are not encouraged to purchase from that seller because if anything happens, okay, if your paper capture into that institution, into any particular institutions, and then when you submit to your supervisors, so the similarity index might become higher. Okay,
Yes.
because
Kalau saya boleh tambah ya, kalau saya boleh
ah
tambah untuk makluman pelajar yang ada hari ini bersama kita di YouTube, kalau saya boleh tambah, sekiranya anda membeli servis turning in di Shopee, Lazada yang kita nampak sangat murah, tetapi
betul.
ini adalah sangat bahaya untuk hasil kerja anda kerana apabila hasil kerja ataupun tugasan tersebut dimuat naik di dalam repository universiti lain yang kita tidak tahu universiti mana, pihak
Betul.
UiTM tidak boleh membantu anda untuk retrieve balik hasil tugasan tersebut. So whatever it is, please do not purchase those accounts or those services provided on Shopee as well as Lazada because kita banyak menerima aduan ataupun permintaan untuk remove paper-paper mereka daripada repository kerana similarity dia 100%. We can't do that because we are only the admin for UiTM.
Yes, correct.
Mm-mm.
Exactly, Doctor. So, tak digalakkanlah untuk pelajar beli daripada servis daripada Shopee sebab kalau apa-apa berlaku, tanggungjawab tu terletak pada seller tu lah. So, sebagai pelajar yang menggunakan servis Shopee ataupun Lazada, so you have to contact that seller. Okay, if your similarity is high, and then you have to contact the seller. Itu pun
Cik
kalau seller
Mazlan,
tu boleh
Kalau
bertanggungjawab lah.
betul, kalau seller tu boleh bertanggungjawab. Okey.
Betul.
Kalau saya boleh berkongsi sedikit, Cik Mazlan, saya ambil sedikit masa. Kalau saya boleh
Boleh.
berkongsi, akaun-akaun UiTM juga ada pihak yang tidak bertanggungjawab cuba untuk menjual akaun UiTM, akaun turn in UiTM di Shopee dan juga Lazada. Pihak kami membuat pemantauan dan dapat jumpa. Tetapi pihak kami akan terus tutup akaun tersebut. So say for example, if you are a student that purchase service from this particular seller and this seller punya account di mana yang you telah upload your paper on the repository telah ditutup. Then the seller itself cannot help you. So that's the thing. Cik Mazlan, kalau boleh kita ambil sedikit soalan daripada YouTube kerana banyak soalan yang nak
Boleh,
tanya
boleh.
dekat Cik Mazlan ni. Um,
Okay.
Okay, can we use Turnitin to check with papers that are written in other languages such as Malay, French, Arabic?
Yes, of course. As I mentioned, Turnitin can support 30 foreign languages, okay, including Malay language, Arabic, okay, 30 foreign languages. So any languages that you do for your assignments, Turnitin can detect as long as those contents are available in Turnitin database.
Yes. Betul. Boleh ya kalau kita dalam bahasa Melayu ataupun bahasa Arab dan bahasa Perancis boleh.
Ya, betul.
Ada 30 bahasa yang kita boleh ni check dengan Turnitin. Okey, saya ada satu lagi permintaan daripada technologist Dr. Yasmin. Can the speaker or moderator emphasize on the significance of turning off the repository and the consequences, especially if they decide to resubmit the same items to be checked? Okey, untuk rakan-rakan pensyarah saya yang create classes ya, tentang optional setting repository ni sangat penting kerana apabila kita tick ataupun kita tick sahaja semua untuk disubmit ke dalam repository, walaupun itu adalah tugasan yang draft sahaja, mereka akan selepas ni kalau pelajar ni nak upload semula, dia akan detect 100%. Sebab itu kita kena turn it off if we know that this particular paper is only a draft. So it's not going to be the final paper. It's not going to be the final what do you call that? Final output from the student. So we turn it off. Sebegitulah. Okey, kalau kita tengok ada lagi soalan lain tak? Jap. How about the optional settings of the assignment, Cik Mazlan? Do we need to actually exclude small sources? What is the maximum percentage?
Okay, I will go through the optional settings now. Later on, because they have the settings here. Nanti saya akan go through untuk more details on the optional settings, one by one lah. This one, for this one.
Okay, boleh Cik Mazlan, kalau kita tadi masih berada di dalam dalam repository ya. Jika student submit multiple times, the previous file perlu remove, delete terlebih dahulu ke untuk mengelakkan similarity yang tinggi? Tidak, bukan kita delete, kita turn off the submission to repository.
Itu pun bergantung kepada settings kat sini.
Yes.
Depends on the assignment settings which I will go through later on.
So kalau ada soalan yang Cik Mazlan belum ni, mungkin kita boleh tunggu di akhir ke kan, sesi ke kan. Kita bagi Cik Mazlan explain dulu kita punya sistem, then after that probably we can have banyak lagi soalan ya. Cik Mazlan, saya serahkan semula kepada Cik Mazlan. Okay,
Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Alright, and then on the right, the start date and due date. Okay, by default, the setting is 1 week. Okay, basically 7 days. So this one is the start date and due date for the assignments. Okay, so default setting is 1 week. So anything longer or shorter than 1 week, 7 days, you can change accordingly. Okay, you can change accordingly. And the post date is the date for lecturers. For those lectures you're using the grade mark. Okay, the post date is the date for you to post the marks for students to view. But for your ITM, you don't have the point value and the post date. So for your ITM, you only have this start date and due date of assignments. Okay, all right. So and that will go through the optional settings. Okay, so this will be your assignment settings. Dan ini sangat penting. Okay. On the first one, enter special instructions. Okay, you can leave it blank if you don't have any instruction. Okay. Kalau pesyarat ada apa-apa instruction nak bagi kepada pelajar, boleh letak kat sini lah. Okay. For example, please write between 100 to 200 words, or please submit before due date, you can put it here. Okay. If you don't have any instruction, you can leave it blank. Okay. Right. Okay, and then next, the second one, allow submissions after the due date. Okay. So if you choose no, after the due date of assignments, your students cannot submit any paper. Okay. If you choose yes, after the due date, your students can submit paper. but Turnitin will highlight the date with the red color. Okay. So kalau pesyarah pilih no selepas due date assignment, pelajar tak boleh submit apa-apa paper kepada Turnitin. Okay. Kalau pesyarah pilih yes selepas due date assignment, pelajar masih boleh submit paper kepada Turnitin, tetapi Turnitin akan highlight submission date dengan warna merah. Okay. And then next, similarity report. Generate similarity report for submissions. By default, the setting is yes. Okay, if you choose no, once you or your students submit a paper, no report will be generated. Okay, so no point of using Turnitin without the report. Okay, next, generate similarity reports for student submissions. Okay, so when you click here, you can see 3 options. Okay. So the first option, immediately first report is final. Okay, immediate report is final. If you choose this option, okay, meaning that your students can submit paper one time only. Okay, so pelajar hanya boleh submit paper sekali sahaja. Okay, and then the paper that your students submit will straight away capture into the database, which is on due date. Okay, on due date. Okay, so first option, immediately first report is final. Students can submit paper one time only. Students cannot redo and resubmit. Okay, second option, immediately can override reports until due date. Okay, so before the due date, your student can submit as many paper as possible. Okay, for example, they submit the first paper, 50% similarity index. Okay, and then students would like to redo and resubmit again. Okay, or as a lecturer. Okay, sebagai pesyarah kita boleh monitor students punya submissions, students punya report from instructor account, and then you can engage with your student. You can call your students. Hello students, please see your Turnitin report. The similarity index is very high. Please redo, do something or whatsoever. So students can redo and resubmit again. Okay. So the second submission will override the first submission. Okay. So the latest submission that students submit will override the previous submission. Okay. Only the final copy of submission will be captured into the database, which is on due date. Okay. So sebelum due date of assignment. Okay. Apa-apa submission yang student hantar, yang student submit, Turnitin takkan capture. Okay, Turnitin takkan capture. Hanya final copy yang student hantar, Turnitin akan capture, which is on due date. Okay, so maksudnya, when your student submit a paper, okay, Turnitin generate the report. Okay, and then when the students redo and resubmit again, Turnitin will override with the first submission, the previous submission. Okay, Turnitin override and generate the new report again and again and again until due date. Okay. Third option, on due date. So before the due date, your students can submit as many paper as possible, but only one report will be generated, which is on due date. Okay. So untuk second option, student boleh submit banyak kali. Okay, dan setiap kali student submit, Turnitin akan override again and again and again, dan generate the new report again and again and again. Okay, yang option ketiga, student boleh submit banyak kali, tetapi Turnitin hanya akan keluarkan satu report sahaja, iaitu submission terakhir yang kita hantar sebelum due date. Okay, jelas tak yang ni? Ada soalan ke untuk option ni? Okay, option pertama, student boleh submit sekali sahaja. Option kedua, student boleh submit banyak kali. Okay, setiap kali student submit, Turnitin akan generate report. Okay, dan option ketiga, student boleh submit banyak kali, tetapi Turnitin hanya akan keluarkan satu report sahaja, which is on due date. Okay, alright, next. Exclude bibliographic materials, yes or no? Okay, all the list of the reference, the appendix, you can exclude, yes or no. And then exclude quoted materials, yes or no. Okay, the open and close inverted commas, the quotations. Okay. Um, for this one, I believe some students are very smart. Okay. Because some students they might put the open inverted commas and close inverted commas in the assignments. Maybe the first paragraph they put open inverted commas and the last paragraph they put close inverted commas. Okay, the pembuka dan penutup kata. Okay, kalau lecturer pilih yes exclude quoted materials, Turnitin tak boleh detect. Okay, Turnitin tak boleh detect. Okay. Exclude small sources. Okay. For this one, if you choose yes, okay, so you can set the source exclusions either by word count or by percentage. Sebagai contoh, by percentage. Okay, saya letak 5%. Okay. So in the report given by Turnitin, okay, Turnitin will show you the matching of 5% and above only. Okay. 5% matching and below. Okay, macam 1, 2, 3 ataupun 4%, Turnitin takkan tunjuk. Okay, so Turnitin hanya akan tunjukkan matching untuk 5% ke atas saja. 5% ke bawah, Turnitin tak akan tunjuk. Same thing goes to by word count. For example, I put here 10 words. Okay, so in the report given by Turnitin, they will show you the matching of 10 words and above only. 10 words and below. Turnitin won't highlight to you. Okay. And for these three options, the bibliographic materials, quoted materials, and small sources, okay, you can choose no first in the settings because in the student's individual report itself, you can change it to yes. Okay, nanti saya akan tunjukkan kita punya sample submission, sample paper. Okay. Okay, next. Allow students to see similarity reports. Okay, by default, the setting is yes. If you choose no, once your students submit a paper, they cannot see the report, they cannot see how many percent the similarity index. Okay, sebab pelajar tak ada akses untuk tengok report. Okay, if you choose yes, bila student dah submit paper, dia boleh tengok report, dia boleh tengok berapa peratus dia punya similarity index. Okay. So maksudnya sekiranya pensyarah pilih option yang kedua, okay, maksudnya kita allow students untuk redo dan resubmit again and again and again. So kita have to allow students to see the report. Okay, so we have to allow students to see the report. Okay. And then next, the translated matching. I think this one also UiTM have, but if you don't have in your account, okay, you have to ask the admins to enable in the settings. Okay, the translated matching, if the students translated from one language to another language, submit to Turnitin can detect. Okay, so kalau student ada buat translation, okay, and then the submit kepada Turnitin boleh detect. Okay. So, bila kita klik what languages does translated matching support, you can see the list of the languages here. Okay. So, ini adalah senarai bahasa, okay, yang support untuk translated matching. Okay. Maksudnya kalau pelajar dia daripada Chinese, dia translate pergi bahasa Inggeris and then dia submit Turnitin. Okay, Turnitin boleh detect. Okay. Kalau kita enable translated matching lah. Okay. So apa-apa language yang student buat translations, okay, even bahasa Melayu pun Turnitin boleh detect. Okay, Japanese, Arabic, okay, apa-apa translation yang student buat, Turnitin boleh detect. Okay, if we choose yes for the translated matching. Okay, so anonymous marking, then UiTM don't have because this is our demo account, so we have everything. And then the submit papers 2. Okay. Submit papers 2, when you click, you can see 4 options. Okay. So kita boleh nampak ada 4 pilihan. Okay. The first option, standard paper repository. Okay. 4 options: standard paper repository, institution paper repository, student's choice of repository, and no repository. Okay, untuk standard paper repository, whatever you as a lecturer or your student submit, okay, everything will go to the Turnitin database for future matching. Okay, everything will go to the Turnitin database for future matching on due date of assignment. Okay, so this one is the worldwide repository. For institution paper repository, whatever you or your students submit, okay, everything will go to the database within UiTM only. Okay, within the institution only. Okay. Contohnya kalau macam student daripada UiTM JB, dia copy student paper daripada Shah Alam. Okay, kita pilih institution paper repository, dia boleh detect. Maksudnya student ni copy, for example, 5% match with UiTM paper. Okay, tapi kalau student copy daripada institution lain, walaupun paper daripada institution lain tu ada dalam repository, tak boleh nak detect. Sebab kita hanya pilih institution paper repository. Okay, so institution paper repository within UiTM, standard paper repository is worldwide. Okay, worldwide repository. Okay, students' choice of repository. Okay, for these options, students have an options to choose whether they want to put their paper into standard paper repository or institution paper repository. Okay, kalau kita pilih setting yang ni, maksudnya pelajar dia ada pilihan. Okay, sama ada dia nak letak paper dia tu dalam standard paper repository ataupun institution paper repository. Okay. Right, and then the last one, the no repository. Okay, whatever you or your students submit. Okay. Turnitin will check for the similarity index how many %, but Turnitin won't keep your paper into the database. Okay. But in future, if someone take your paper and submit to Turnitin, okay, consider original paper, original author. Okay. Biasanya untuk student submissions, biasanya kita cadangkan pensyarah untuk pilih standard paper repository sebab pelajar ada setengah pelajar dia suka copy daripada dia punya senior punya paper ataupun dia copy student paper daripada institution lain. So yang mana yang ni Turnitin boleh detect. Okay. Tapi macam yang Dr. Nadia kata tadi, kalau macam draft, tu kita boleh pilih no repository. Ataupun kalau macam kelas yang kita sebagai pensyarah kita create chapter by chapter, contoh. Okay, contoh project paper ni ada 5 chapters. Okay, so kita sebagai pensyarah kita boleh create 6 assignment. Okay. So assignment 1 sampai 5 tu kita letaklah by chapter. Okay, chapter 1, chapter 2 until chapter 5. And then assignment ke-6 kita letak full thesis or full paper. Okay, so untuk yang chapter by chapter you can choose no repository. Okay, so bila student submit dia tak akan ada so matching tu tak akan jadi tinggi lah. So untuk yang the last assignment, yang the full thesis, that one kita cadangkan letak standard paper repository lah. Sebab yang tu dah final kan, dah final paper ataupun dah full thesis, then you put the standard paper repository. Okay. Ada juga yang tadi Dr. Nadia kata kalau macam dah submit, student nak resubmit kena remove ke tak? Okay. Sekiranya pensyarah pilih second option kat sini, okay, option yang kedua maksudnya student boleh redo and resubmit. Okay, redo and resubmit. Okay, kalau pensyarah pilih option kedua, immediately can override reports until due date, and pensyarah pilih standard paper repository. Okay, kalau students nak resubmit, students boleh resubmit dan pensyarah tak perlu nak remove the previous submission. Okay, dan untuk student buat resubmission, okay, untuk students buat resubmission, student kena resubmit sebelum due date of assignment. Okay, students kena buat resubmission sebelum due date of assignments. Macam yang saya kata tadi, Okay. Setiap apa yang pelajar submit sebelum due date, Turnitin tak akan capture. Turnitin tak akan capture dalam database. Hanya final copy yang student submit, Turnitin akan capture which is on due date. So maksudnya kalau selepas due date, students resubmit sekali lagi, okay, percentage akan jadi 100%, akan jadi lebih tinggi sebab dia dah match dengan previous submission yang student submit sebelum due date. Okay. So untuk menjawab soalan yang tadi, untuk resubmission tak perlu nak remove paper, tapi student kena resubmit sebelum due date of assignment. Kalau lecturer pilih standard paper repository. Okay. Ada soalan? For this part, any questions? Doktor ada soalan nak highlight ke?
Untuk part yang ini tidak, saya rasa. Untuk part yang ini
Tak
tak
ada,
ada. Kalau Cik Mazlan boleh slow sikit ke kan? Saya takut laju-laju kan mungkin ada yang tak terkejar.
Okay.
Baik, terima kasih Cik Mazlan.
Okay. So untuk standard paper adalah worldwide repository. Okay, institution paper ni within UiTM. So maksudnya kalau kita pilih institution paper, kalau student daripada institution lain copy UiTM punya students, okay, bila dia submit dekat institution dia tak akan detect daripada UiTM lah. Sebab kita hanya check within UiTM. Kalau kita pilih standard, student daripada universiti lain copy UiTM punya student, dia akan match against UiTM paper. Okay. Student choice, yang ni pelajar ada pilihan sama ada pelajar nak letak paper dia dalam standard paper ataupun institution paper. Okay. Pelajar tak boleh pilih no repository lah. Okay. Dan no repository, okay, apa-apa submission Turnitin akan bagi report untuk similarity, tapi Turnitin takkan simpan paper dalam Turnitin database. Okay. Alright. Okay, next. Search options. Okay, 3 types of databases. Students paper, internet contents, and publishers content. Okay, it's good for you to check on everything. Okay, kalau kita hanya check untuk internet content and publishers content, so bila student submit, so Turnitin akan check similarity against 2 database je lah. So kalau pilih semua 3 database, dia akan check against 3 types of databases. Okay. And then the online grading, this one UiTM don't have. And then the ETS, e-rater, this is for grammar checking. Okay. Grammar checking yang menggunakan e-rater teknologi. So bila kita klik yes, okay, so kita boleh gunakan untuk grammar checking. Okay, so we can choose the handbook. The highest level will be advanced level. Okay, you can choose the level. You can choose the dictionary, US, UK, or both dictionaries. And you can choose the categories, okay, for grammar checking. Okay, and then the last one, would you like to save these options as your default for future assignments? Okay, if you check on this, your next assignment creation, you don't have to go through all the settings because this will become your default setting. Okay, but you can edit your assignment setting. Okay, and then you can click submit. Okay, so saya dah create class, satu kelas PMG 4134 Logistic Management SEM 1 2021. Okay, I created one assignment in this class, chapter 1, with the start date, due date, and post date. Okay, so if you like to edit your assignment setting, you can click on more actions here. Okay, you can click on more actions, you can edit settings. Or you can click submit here, or you can delete this assignment. Okay, or you can click for view here. So from here, you can submit your own paper because they have submit file here. Okay, I will show you how to submit paper after this because this is same as a student's. Okay, I will cover during the student's part later on. Okay. Alright, ada soalan? Any questions for the class creation or assignment settings?
Cik Mazlan, we do have a question about journal article. So, if our lecturers they submit an article for a journal, should they okay, bagaimana setting yang perlu mereka pilih?
Okay. Okay, sebagai pesyarah, okay, saya percaya setiap pesyarah kita punya artikel sendiri untuk kita publish kan, untuk kita hantar kepada publisher untuk publish artikel. Okay, so sebagai pesyarah kita boleh gunakan Turnitin untuk check kita punya paper. Okay, so kita boleh create additional class. Contoh kita create satu class untuk personal class and then create satu assignment untuk personal paper or personal articles. Okay, then dekat assignment settings yang submit papers tu, yang ni kita boleh pilih no repository lah untuk kita punya own submission. So you can check your own paper as many times as you want before you submit to publisher. Okay, please bear in mind most of the publishers are using another tool called Authenticate. Okay, the sister company of Turnitin. Okay, so both of them, okay, Turnitin dan Authenticate, they are sharing the same database. Okay, so publisher will check your paper through Authenticate before they can actually publish your paper. Okay, but for Authenticate, the database is only checked against publishers' contents and also the internet contents. Okay, for Authenticate. Okay. Any other questions?
Kita ada permintaan untuk Cik Mazlan mungkin slow-slow sikit.
Oh, laju sangat
Laju kalau hands on ni mereka tak terkejar.
Okay,
Nak
boleh.
petang-petang ni kan.
Okay. Alright, so kalau tak ada soalan, saya nak tunjuk sikit kita punya sample account sebelum kita pergi kepada pelajar punya sesi. Okay, so ini saya punya sample account lah. Okay, University of Apex Knowledge. So you can see the list of my class IDs and my class names. Okay, so for example, I want to have a look on my class MGM 3211 Marketing Management SEM 1 2021. Okay, so I just click on the class name here. Okay, so in this class I created 5 assignments. Okay, so saya dapat 5 assignment, assignment 1, 2, 3, 4 and assignments 5. Okay, assume that I want to have a look on assignment 1. So I just click view. Okay, so you can see these are the list of my students' name. Okay, with the assignment title here, the similarity index, okay, yang ni untuk Turnitin report, and then the grade, so yang ni untuk online marking, okay, paper ID, date of submission. Okay, so dalam assignment setting, kalau kita sebagai pesyarah kita pilih yes, allow students to submit after the due date. Okay, kalau kita pilih yes, kita allow students untuk submit after the due date dan student submit paper selepas due date assignment, Turnitin akan highlight the date with the red color. So maksudnya this particular student submitted after the due date and you can deduct the marks for the late submission. Okay, so yang highlight warna merah maksudnya student submit selepas due date. Okay, and then each paper, okay, each submission will have a very unique paper ID as you can see here. Okay, so setiap paper yang student submit ni, dia ada paper ID yang unique. Okay, so paper ID ni penting sebab, okay, in order for you to remove any paper from Turnitin database. Okay, katakanlah, contoh. Assignment setting ni kita set standard paper dan sebagai pesyarah kita accidentally
tersubmit kita punya personal articles. Okay, tersubmit kita punya personal articles. Okay, so untuk kita remove kita punya paper daripada Turnitin database, okay, kita kena bagi paper ID kepada Turnitin admin untuk UiTM. Okay, so setiap fakulti dia ada sub admin ataupun the main admin Dr. Nadia. Okay, kena bagi paper ID kepada Turnitin admin. Okay, untuk Turnitin admin email kepada Turnitin support untuk remove paper daripada Turnitin database. Okay, so without the paper ID, Turnitin cannot delete any particular paper from Turnitin database. So kalau kita bagi author name ataupun title, okay, Turnitin tak boleh nak detect. Okay, sebab mungkin kebanyakan author nama sama ataupun title yang sama. So kita tak boleh nak detect paper yang mana. So kena bagi paper ID. Ataupun if you delete from your account, for example, you tick here, you want to delete, you tick and then you delete. Okay, you delete. Okay, so when you delete, okay, it just disappear from your account, not from Turnitin database. Okay, so bila kita dah delete kat sini, so bila dah hilang, kita tak boleh nak trace paper ID. Dan kita tak boleh nak bagi paper ID pada Turnitin admin untuk request Turnitin support untuk delete paper. Okay, so kalau delete daripada account, hanya akan hilang dalam kita punya account, bukan dalam Turnitin punya database. Okay, bila kita dah delete, kat dalam Turnitin database still ada kita punya paper. Okay, right, so itu pentingnya paper ID. Okay, assume that I want to have a look on my student, Bian San, gejala plagiarisma, 83%. Okay, ini contoh paper dalam bahasa Melayu. Okay, so saya just klik kat sini untuk tengok report. Okay, so you just click on the percentage to see the report. Okay, so this is the latest interface, the feedback studio. Okay, alright, so on the left will be the students assignment, students paper text. Okay, you can see the original format of students paper here. And then on the right, you can see two different tabs with different colors, which for UiTM you only can see, or you only have the red color, the originality check, the similarity layer. Okay, so for the similarity layer, kalau sebelum ni kita hanya ada 4. Kalau perasan lah kalau perasan we only have 4 tabs. Okay, tapi since I think beginning of this year, early this year or end of last year, Turnitin launched the new features, what we call the flags for review. Okay, yang first step. Okay, so kita akan go through one by one. Okay, so the first step, flags for review. This is the new features that available in originality check. Okay, new features that available in originality check. So when you click, okay, so you can see, for example, these submissions, this report, there are 0 flags. Okay, okay, so what is flags? Okay, flags for review if students do any manipulations on hidden text or replace characters. Okay, hidden text or replace characters. For example, like replace characters. Okay, some characters in different alphabets can look similar enough. Okay, and also the hidden text. Okay, contohnya macam the quotation marks. Macam saya kata tadi, pembuka dan penutup kata. Okay, so maksudnya kalau Turnitin notice something strange, okay, dia notice something strange macam hidden text or replace character, so Turnitin akan flags. Okay, Turnitin akan flags for you to review. Okay, Turnitin akan flag untuk kita review. Okay, flag ni tak semestinya indikator untuk masalah ataupun indikator untuk student ni plagiarize. Okay, so flags ni bukan indikator problems lah. Okay, tapi Turnitin recommend pensyarah untuk fokus kita punya attention dekat flags ni untuk further review lah. Okay, ini contoh. Salah satu contoh paper ni gejala plagiarisma. Okay, untuk flags for review, 0 flags, so no issue, no hidden text, no replace characters. Okay, saya akan tunjuk contoh lain. student Cristiano Ronaldo. Plagiarism 0%. Okay. So ini saya punya eksperimen. Okay. So BN gejala plagiarisme, okay, dia submit 83%. Okay. Apa yang saya buat eksperimen, saya copy BN punya paper and did some manipulation. Okay, did some manipulation and submit to Turnitin. Okay, I set name as Ronaldo and he got 0%. Okay, 0%. Okay, so when I click to see the report, okay, when I click to see the report, okay, so bila kita buka report Cristiano Ronaldo ni, okay, so kita nampak exactly the same paper with BN Sun. Okay, exactly the same paper. Okay, tapi BN dapat 83%, tapi Ronaldo dapat 0%. Okay, kenapa? Okay, bila saya buka report, saya tengok flags, ada satu flags. Okay, satu flags. So when I click flags for review here, okay, so you can see hidden text. Hidden text. So when you click on hidden text, so kita boleh nampak kat mana student tu letak hidden text. Okay, so contoh yang ni, Ronaldo ni dia letak dekat setiap space, dia letak I kecil, then dia tukar color, font color warna putih. Okay, dia tukar font color warna putih. Okay, untuk setiap space, untuk setiap perkataan dia letak I kecil dan dia tukar font color warna putih. Okay. Untuk makluman semua, saya pasti pelajar pun tahu, dekat YouTube dia ada cara macam mana kita nak buat macam ni. Okay, macam mana kita nak buat macam ni. Dia guna teknik find and replace. Find and replace. Dalam YouTube ada cara dia. Okay, kalau dulu Turnitin tak boleh nak detect. Tapi sekarang Turnitin dah ada flags for review which Turnitin can detect. Okay. So kalau dulu, saya just share pengalaman. Kalau saya dapat paper macam ni kan, sebab adalah mustahil untuk pelajar dapat 0%. So bila student dapat 0%, so something is not right lah. Even common words pun Turnitin akan detect. Okay, at least kena ada lah 1-2% tu mesti ada similarity. Tapi bila 0%, so something is not right lah. So kalau macam dulu, bila tak boleh detect, apa yang saya buat, saya akan download the original paper yang student submit. Okay, saya download original. Okay, kalau student tu download, submit guna Microsoft Word, then good lah. So kita download original submission. Kita buka. So kita boleh nampak. Okay. Okay, sangat cantik kan paper dia. Walaupun dia manipulate, tapi sangat cantik. Okay, sangat cantik. Tapi bila saya cuba untuk highlight certain lah, highlight and then saya tukar font color, so kita boleh nampak lah. Okay, dekat setiap space ni dia letak I kecil, okay, letak I kecil and then dia tukar font color jadi warna putih. So kita tak nampak pun yang I kecil tu. So bila dia submit, dia dapat 0% lah sebab Turnitin tak boleh nak detect. Tapi Turnitin boleh detect flags. Maksudnya replace characters. Okay. Alright, so ini salah satu cara macam mana student manipulate lah. So untuk student, untuk pelajar, so lepas ni tak boleh dah nak manipulate macam ni. Sebab Turnitin dah boleh detect dah. Okay.
Cik Mazlan, kita ada soalan. So a lot of lecturers are concerned when the similarity report generates 0 similarity score.
Okay.
Apa kebarangkalian di sebalik 0 similarity scores ni?
Okay, kebarangkaliannya ini salah satulah yang dia manipulate. Salah satu. Dia manipulate, dia replace, dia guna teknik find and replace. Selain daripada tu, kalau student tu dia submit guna JPEG format, image format. Okay. Contohnya dia scan hard copy. Dia scan hard copy and then dia submit Turnitin. Memang Turnitin tak boleh nak detect lah sebab dia image. So definitely dia punya report will be 0%. Ataupun PDF protected with password pun Turnitin tak boleh detect percentage. And then satu lagi, assignment settings. Assignment setting, yang tu nanti saya akan tunjukkan lah. Contohnya kalau macam untuk students punya report biasanya match overview ni tak adalah banyak sangat kan dia punya ni. Mungkin 1-2%. Tapi untuk kalau macam lecturer dia letak filter setting tu yang tadi yang uh, exclude small matches by percentage. Contohlah dia letak 20%. Okay, so bila kebanyakan similarity tu kurang daripada 20, dia jadi zero lah kat situ. Sebab tu saya kata untuk yang 3 option tu yang bibliographic materials, yang filter setting ni. Dekat setting tu, quoted materials, bibliographic dengan small matches ni, dekat main setting tu kita letak no first. Kita letak no first. So dekat student individual report ni kita boleh change back tu lah kepada nak exclude ke quoted materials, nak exclude bibliography ke, kita nak exclude by small matches ke. Kat sini kita boleh buat untuk individual report punya student lah. Nanti sekejap lagi saya tunjuk yang paper yang ni lah. Contoh saya ambil yang ni. Okay, yang ni sebab setting semua saya pilih no. So tak ada issue lah. So tapi kalau dekat setting tu, kita pilih yang dekat filter setting yang setting tadi tu, kita pilih katakanlah kita exclude by percentage, kita letak 20 kan. Contoh kita letak yang acceptable percentage by institution 20% ataupun 25 contoh. Okay, bila kita letak dekat main setting tu, bila student submit, so student punya report ni kebanyakannya bawah daripada 20% kan. Untuk setiap similarity tu 2%, 3%, not more than 10% lah normally lah. So bila kita set dekat main setting tu 20%, so bila dia submit, memang of course dia dapat 0% lah sebab dia tak tunjukkan yang percentage bawah daripada 20%. Ini salah satu. Kita tengok setting juga ataupun dari segi documents yang student submit dan juga manipulation lah. Yang salah satu contoh yang tadi itulah yang flags for review tu pun kalau macam tak ada flags, dia dapat 0 tapi tak ada flags, kita boleh try download original format submission tu, kita tengok dia guna format apa. Format PDF ke, kalau PDF tu editable ke tak editable. Kalau yang scan hard copy tu memang non-editable, memang tak boleh detect similarities. Tapi kalau yang Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint dia save as PDF, yang tu editable, then boleh detect untuk similarity. Dia ada banyak kebarangkalian macam mana student boleh dapat 0%. Kita tengok setting, kena tengok format, kena tengok apa manipulation yang student buat lah. Okay, betul?
Baik.
Okay.
Ada ramai rakan-rakan pensyarah yang agak terkejut. Oh, macam ni cara pelajar manipulate ya. Tak semua pelajar. Mungkin memang kita adalah satu atau dua yang bad genius tu kan. Mungkin ada satu atau dua, tidak semua.
Bukan pelajar Malaysia, bukan pelajar Malaysia.
Bukan pelajar Malaysia lah. Mungkin pelajar luar negara ya.
Luar negara. Sebab luar negara dah advance. Even sekarang dia dah ada authorship. Dia upah orang lain. Yang tu pun sering dah ada software untuk detect lah. Yang tu kita sembang lain lah.
Betul.
Okay. Okay, kita balik kepada Bian punya paper. Okay, we go back to the Bian's paper. Okay, we are done with the first tab, the flags for review. So, yang ni clear. Okay, and then the second tab, the mesh overview. Okay, so bila kita klik, kita boleh nampak senarai sources. Okay, the matching sources. Okay, so similarity number 1. It comes from the source number 1 and website number 1. Okay, so similarity yang pertama datang daripada sumber yang pertama, website yang pertama. Okay. Contoh first 2 paragraph. Okay. Untuk first similarities. Okay. The whole paragraph. Okay. 2 paragraph is highlighted in red color. Tapi some words, penciplakan atau penghasilan turn in tak highlight. Okay. Turn in tak highlight. Maksudnya penciplakan atau penghasilan ni original words daripada student. Okay, original words daripada student. Okay, so untuk kita tengok comparison, okay, pensyarah untuk tengok comparison, kita boleh klik pada nombor similarity ni, klik, okay, from utusan.com.my, kita klik kat sini untuk full source view. Okay, klik full source view. So bila kita dah klik, Turnitin akan tunjukkan side by side comparison. Okay, side by side comparison. Kalau daripada utusan menciplak, okay, student ni ditukar imbuhan kepada penciplakan. Okay, menghasilkan semula atau student dia buat rephrase atau penghasilan semula. Okay, so ni macam mana cara Turnitin detect lah. Walaupun dia tukar imbuhan, dia replace ke apa perkataan, Turnitin still boleh detect. Okay. Okay, sebagai contoh. Okay, untuk similarity yang pertama, 2 paragraf, Turnitin highlight warna merah. Okay, contoh contoh. Tapi kita nampak student letak acknowledgement kat sini utusan online 2007. Contoh. Okay, Turnitin letak quotation ataupun acknowledgement. Okay, dia acknowledge daripada utusan. Okay. So, untuk Turnitin, macam yang saya kata, Turnitin tak boleh detect untuk plagiarism. Okay, Turnitin hanya detect untuk similarity. Okay, so walaupun pelajar ni dia copy daripada utusan, dia copy daripada utusan, walaupun dia letak proper acknowledgement, proper quotation or proper citation, okay, selagi mana contents tu ada dalam Turnitin punya database, Turnitin still akan highlight. Okay, so maksudnya yang ni content ni ada dalam Turnitin punya database. Walaupun student letak acknowledgement, Turnitin still akan highlight. Okay, sebagai contoh, okay, sekiranya yang similarity pertama ni tak ada isu lah. Okay, student letak proper acknowledgement, contoh So sebagai pensyarah, kita boleh exclude sources ni. Okay, what we can do, you can click here to view match breakdown. Okay, click. Okay, utusan.com.my. Dekat bawah ni kita boleh nampak exclude sources button. Klik, kita boleh klik sources from utusan and then kita klik exclude. Okay, so bila kita dah exclude, so percentage dia akan turun daripada 83% kepada 49% dan Turnitin tak akan highlight dia punya similarity. Okay, jadi sebagai pensyarah, okay, kita kena guna kita punya penilaian untuk menilai students punya submission. Okay, sebagai pensyarah, kita tak boleh bergantung kepada percentage. Okay, sebab percentage ni hanyalah sebagai guidelines untuk kita. Okay, percentage ni hanyalah menunjukkan similarity index. Okay, bukan plagiarism index. Okay, so maksudnya kalau kita nampak student ni 90%, kita terus judge dia plagiarize. So tak. Okay, so bila kita nampak percentage tinggi, kita kena go through the whole paper. Okay, go through the whole paper. Sebab apa? Okay, kadang-kadang yang dapat bawah 20% ni pun, okay, contohlah okay, dapat yang bawah 20%, okay, bawah 20% kita tak check, okay lah ni 20%. Tapi sebenarnya ada 1-2% tu, content tu dia tak acknowledge pun. Walaupun dia ambil daripada mana-mana sources, daripada publication ke, daripada Turnitin detect, tapi kita tak, student tu tak acknowledge. So consider plagiarism. Sebab dia ambil content tapi dia tak acknowledge. Consider plagiarism. Okay, kalau macam ni dia dapat tinggi tapi dia memang ambil content contoh daripada utusan tapi dia acknowledge. So kita bolehlah exclude untuk reduce the percentage. Okay, ada soalan? Dan
Ada
bagi
Cik
saya-
Mazlan.
ya.
Tak apa, Cik Mazlan
Okay.
teruskan dulu. Cik Mazlan teruskan
Okay.
dulu. Nanti saya bacakan
Okay.
soalan.
Okay, right. So bagi saya percentage ni kita kena tengok juga apa kursus yang student tu ambil lah. Contoh kalau macam law kan, kursus undang-undang. Okay, kalau macam undang-undang ni kebanyakan case adalah fakta. Okay, kalau pelajar ni dia masukkan fakta case dalam assignment, so dia tak boleh nak ubah fakta tu, dia tak boleh nak ubah fakta case. So bila dia submit, memang percentage akan tinggi lah. Betul. Okay, so kita tak boleh nak, okay, you punya percentage tinggi, you kena ubah fakta case ni. Tak boleh sebab itu memang dah fakta, memang dah difilekan case untuk undang-undang. Contoh lah saya tak expert sangat. Tu contoh lah, kita tengok juga course. Kalau macam course sastra, okay, sastra ke social science ke, yang tu student boleh lah nak goreng ayat apa-apa pun, tu tak kisahlah, tu tak ada masalah. Kalau macam yang fakta, macam engineering, okay, so banyak formula-formula yang memang tak boleh nak ubah. So bila submit memang ada similarity, so memang tak boleh nak ubah lah. So yang tu sebagai pensyarah kita kena menilai. Kita tak boleh mengharapkan percentage, bila percentage tinggi je plagiarism. Okay, ada soalan? Okay doktor, teruskan apa soalan dia?
Ada Cik Mazlan, kita ada soalan, in your opinion, what's the best solution we need to do if the similarity percentage is more than 30%, especially if the paper or work contains a lot of mathematical equations?
Tu lah macam saya kata tadi. Sebab okay, kalau benda tu memang fakta ataupun formula tu memang itulah formula dia kan, memang yang dah ada dalam Turnitin database dia akan highlight. So the best solution kita exclude lah, as a lecturer kita exclude, so akan brings down the percentage lah. Sebab takkan kita nak minta student ubah formula ataupun ubah fakta case macam saya kata tadi kan. Tak boleh. Memang tak boleh. So the best
Betul Cik
solution
Mazlan.
kita exclude.
Betul. Saya mungkin ada rakan-rakan yang mungkin masih samar-samar ya tentang penggunaan Turnitin ini. Mungkin ada yang berpendapat, oh kalau 30% ni tak boleh, kita kena terus reject. So like what Encik Mazlan has explained, actually it only shows us like, hey, this is an area of concern. Ataupun, hey, kita ada concern ni dekat paper ni, it's 30%. So daripada situ pensyarah boleh tengok, teliti balik. Mungkin similarity dia macam tadi ada rakan saya menyatakan di chat box kan, mungkin daripada acknowledgement. Jadi bukanlah pelajar itu plagiat. Kan kita tidaklah jatuhkan hukuman, ya awak plagiat. So that's why UiTM kita memberikan flexibility itu kepada fakulti. Maksudnya fakulti yang decide dia punya percentage of similarity tu. Ataupun you can also refer to Graduate Studies, Institute of Graduate Studies kan, ataupun IPSIS untuk melihat kalau untuk pasca siswazah berapa peratusan yang di-accept untuk UiTM. So kalau kita nak buat satu blanket percentage, it doesn't make sense macam Cik Mazlan kata tadi kan, kalau undang-undang memang kita kena ambil kes fakta. Jadi kalau dia highlight ini tiru, tak bolehlah jadi macam tu. Silakan Cik Mazlan.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay, so and then next step. Okay, next step yang ketiga, yang ni bila kita klik, kita boleh tengok all sources lah. So daripada sini pun kita boleh exclude sources. Kalau ada sources yang kita rasa boleh di exclude, tak ada isu plagiarize, so nak exclude, boleh exclude juga kat sini lah. Just klik kat exclude sources button, pilih sources then exclude. Okay, and then yang ke 4, filters and setting ni yang macam saya kata tadi lah. Untuk kita choose yes or no, tick or untick untuk quoted materials, bibliography dan juga small sources by word count or by percentage. Saya dah explain tadi. And then the last step, excluded sources, bila kita klik, so you can see the list of the excluded sources. Okay. So sebenarnya sources yang kita dah exclude kat sini tadi, dia akan masuk dekat excluded sources. Okay, just in case kita nak include balik sources ni, boleh tick mana-mana sources, klik restore, dia akan masuk balik kepada mesh overview. Okay. Alright, contoh lain untuk mesh overview. Paper yang ni. Okay, contoh. Okay. Yang ni okay, contoh yang ni 5% match with student paper from MMU ataupun 2% match with students paper from UiTM. Okay. So this one is students from University of Apex Knowledge. Okay, but they have matched with students paper from MMU 5% and also 2% from UiTM. Okay, so as a lecturer, so bila kita klik yang ni yang ni, so submitted to UiTM, when we click, okay, so kita tak boleh tengok paper student tu. Macam saya saya instructor, saya nak tengok, saya klik, saya tak boleh tengok student daripada UiTM punya tu, paper student daripada UiTM. Okay, tapi apa yang saya boleh buat, okay, so you can send a request to view this paper. Okay, So the request will be sent to the original instructor from UITM. Okay. So request tu akan dihantar kepada instructor daripada UITM, sama ada instructor tu dia nak bagi kebenaran untuk kita tengok ataupun tak student paper student dia. Okay. So kalau dia bagi, so the whole paper, the whole document will be sent to your email. Okay, kalau saya request, okay, and then UITM punya instructor tu dia approve, so the whole document akan dihantar ke email saya dan saya boleh tengok students paper daripada UITM. Okay, kalau they don't allow you to view the paper, you will receive nothing. Okay, same thing if someone from another institution, okay, request untuk tengok student paper kita lah, student paper kita. So request tu dia akan hantar kat kita sama ada kita nak benarkan pensyarah tu untuk tengok students paper kita ataupun tidak. Okay, this is to protect the students intellectual property. Okay, kita protect student punya paper submission. Okay, okay, alright. Ada soalan untuk originality check? Is there any questions, ladies, gentlemen? Okay, if no questions, we go to the last one, the gray button, two gray button here. Okay, so ada dua button gray kat sini. Satu is download button and the second one is the submission information button. Okay, submission information button. Okay. Okay, submission information button. Okay, is the submission details. Okay, dia ada student ID, class name, class ID, submission ID. Submission ID ni paper ID. Submission date, date and time. Okay, submission count, how many time your students resubmit. Okay, contohnya macam pelajar ni dia submit 4 kali resubmit. Okay, so all the submission info, submission details here. Okay, on the submission information. Okay, and then untuk download button. Okay, untuk download button, klik download. Okay, so kita boleh nampak 3 types of downloads. Okay, current view, digital receipt, originally submitted file. Okay, originally submitted file, original file yang student submit kepada Turnitin lah kita boleh download. Okay, contohnya kalau macam dulu-dulu kita dia pelajar bila kita submit assignment, kita kena burn dekat CD ataupun kita masuk dalam disket untuk hantar soft copy kepada pensyarah, betul? Okay, tapi kalau ada yang sekarang Turnitin, so pensyarah boleh download soft copy original submission daripada pelajar daripada account lah. So contoh macam pelajar ni dia submit guna Microsoft Word, so sebagai pensyarah kita boleh download original file yang student submit. Okay, so you can download the original file in Microsoft Word. Okay, and then the second one, digital receipt. Okay, digital receipt adalah submission information in PDF format. Okay, so lecturer and student can download the digital receipt. Okay, download the digital receipt in PDF format. Okay, so this is the digital receipt or the submission information in PDF format. Okay, and then the last one, downloads current view. Okay, so download current view ini adalah untuk Turnitin report. Okay, Turnitin report dalam PDF. Okay, so pensyarah, pelajar boleh klik download current view untuk download report. Turnitin report. Okay, download Turnitin report in PDF. Okay, so ini adalah contoh report. Okay, so at the top will be all the similarities. Okay, all the similarities. And then at the bottom will be the matching sources. Okay, matching sources. Okay, so yang atas dia punya similarities dan yang last few pages adalah dia punya similarities. Okay. Alright, ada soalan? Any questions for the originality check? For the instructor part? Before we go to the students part?
Ada doktor. Kalau ada Cik Mazlan. Kalau
Okay.
sebentar saya ni tengah tengok dua-dua message masuk ke sini ke sana. Okey.
Okay.
Sekiranya if we detect our work that has been plagiarized by another university. Another university. So how do we contact the admin for the turning in of that particular university? I don't think some of the universities, they don't provide the admin information, the admin for the turning in information. So we can simply lodge a formal report lah to the particular university.
Yep, correct. So,
Okay.
okay, so kita tak boleh nak tengok. Okay. So, yang tu
Okay.
kalau kita memang tak boleh nak buat apa, tapi at least kita tahulah dia copy from another students.
Cik Mazlan, kalau kita boleh tunjukkan sebelum kita masuk ke bahagian pelajar nanti ya, it's also important for the lecturers to know how the students punya proses untuk submit. Ya, tu macam mana nak submit saya tak tahu. Okey, jadi kita boleh explain kepada mereka. Alright, Cik Mazlan. Kita ada satu soalan, macam mana nak keluarkan laporan yang kita dah exclude rujukan, certain rujukan yang macam tadi dia detect nama ataupun dia detect benda-benda yang kita dah exclude. How do we actually download that particular report? Kita nak beri kepada pelajar kita.
Maksudnya after we exclude.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, for example like this report this report just now we can see 83%, right? So and then I already exclude the content from download the report. Okay, when you download, then you can actually see the latest. Let me download again.
Okay, Cik Mazlan, we do have one more question. Last semester, I checked my students' final test answers, long essay. I noticed that Turnitin did not detect answers copied from regular websites. So when I googled the verbatim answer, because the level of language was too good for my students, so that is also a flag lah, yeah. When the language is too good, when there's no grammatical errors, it's a red flag lah for us lecturers. Okay, what could have Encik Syahrul Amri done wrong in the settings? Kerana Turnitin ni dia tak detect dekat website biasa.
Website apa tu macam saya kata, kalau ada any particular website yang pensyarah rasa tak ada dalam Turnitin punya database, boleh bagi pada saya and then kita akan minta Turnitin untuk index dalam Turnitin punya database. Sebab memang everyday Turnitin dia crawl new websites everyday lah. Tapi yalah tak semua, mungkin tak semua new web page ataupun new website yang ada dalam Turnitin punya database. So makna kata kalau macam banyak student ataupun kebanyakan student copy from that any particular websites, can let me know and share the website and then we ask Turnitin to index into the database lah.
Okay, yang ini bukan untuk Encik Mazlan, rasanya untuk saya. I have a question. If a lecturer wants to use Turnitin for his or her private articles or thesis, is that permissible? Thank you. As instructors in UiTM, you are allowed to use your account for educational purposes. But you are not allowed, so say for example, you are on the editorial board for the campus or for the faculty, you are not allowed to create a class and allow others outside of UITM to submit their papers. If you submit on their behalf, then that's a different story lah. But for you to allow that particular account for your own, don't have any issues with that. Encik Mazlan boleh ulang sekejap ke tentang flag itu? Boleh
Flag.
ulang sedikit ke tentang flag tadi?
Okay, flag. Okay, sekejap. Okay, saya tunjuk macam contoh tadi yang kita dah exclude. So, apa yang kita dah exclude, dia akan, bila kita download report, dia akan keluar apa yang kita dah exclude lah. Macam tadi doktor tanya, macam mana kita nak download report yang dah exclude. So, once kita dah exclude je, kita klik download, dia akan download apa yang ada dekat report tu. Contoh macam tadi 83%, saya dah exclude jadi 49. Saya dah exclude utusan, so dia tak akan masuk dalam printed ataupun downloadable report yang kita download lah.
Baik, terima kasih Encik Mazlan. Itu saya rasa menjawab je soalan rakan-rakan kita di YouTube, bagaimana nak download yang dah excluded. So once you have excluded, it's going to download the one that you have already excluded.
Ya.
Okay,
untuk flags, I will explain again for the flags. Flags. Flags ni yang first step, maksudnya flags kalau pelajar buat manipulations on the submission, dia letak hidden text, replace characters, hidden quotation marks. So yang ni boleh Turnitin boleh detect. So hidden quotation marks tu macam saya kata tadi lah, macam dalam assignment first paragraph dia letak open pembuka kata, then last paragraph dia letak penutup kata. Sama ada dekat setting kita choose yes exclude content materials, Turnitin tak boleh detect, ataupun pembuka dengan penutup kata tu student dia tukar font color jadi warna putih yang kita tak nampak. Kalau ada yang macam tu, Turnitin boleh detect as hidden text lah. And then the replace characters. Sebab ada certain alphabet yang berbeza tapi sebenarnya dia nampak sama. Nampak sama. Walaupun student cuba untuk replace, Turnitin boleh detect as replace characters. Contoh macam paper yang ni, dia tak ada flags lah sebab student ni memang submit original yang dia buat, dia tak ada buat any manipulation, dia tak ada hidden text, tak ada replace characters, so zero flags. Tapi macam yang contoh saya bagi tadi, student daripada Cristiano Ronaldo plagiarism, dia copy daripada Bien San punya paper tapi dia manipulate dan submit, dia dapat 0%. So bila buka report kita nampak flags lah. So bila when we open the report, we can see the flags. One flag or two flag, three flags. When we click on the flags, so we can see the list of the flags here lah. If one flag, you can see which flag, hidden text or replace characters. So when you click, you can see the flags. Where is the hidden text is? Where is the place of the replace characters or the hidden text? So kita boleh nampak lah.
Okay, terima kasih Cik Mazlan. Saya rasa boleh kot kita tunjukkan bagaimana untuk pelajar pula. Betul.
Alright, we have another 15 minutes. I think cukup untuk cover students punya part. Alright. Untuk student untuk students, so for the students, this is the training guides for the students. Same thing for easy steps. So you can see how to create profile, how to enroll in a class, how to submit paper, and how to view reports. So I will cover everything. For new students, new users of Turnitin. Contoh kalau macam even kita dah final year tapi kita tak ada account Turnitin, so consider new users of Turnitin lah. New users of Turnitin, what you can do, you have to create account. If you don't have Turnitin account, you have to create account. So what you can do, first you need
to have the class details. Okay, class ID, class enrollment key. Okay, so you have to get the class ID and enrollment key from your lecturers or from the supervisors. Okay, so once you got the class details, class ID and class enrollment key, then you can create account. Okay, so what you can do, you can open the Turnitin website, turnitin.com. Okay, and then you can click on the top right here besides the login button. Okay, click by the create account. Okay, and then you can see create a user profile. Then you can see 3 types of account: student, teaching assistant, instructor. Okay, so untuk pelajar, of course we have to click on student. Okay, click on student. Okay, so create a new student's profile, class ID information. So ini yang kita perlu dapatkan daripada pensyarah ataupun supervisor. Ataupun sebagai pensyarah, kita kena bagi kepada student class ID dan enrollment key. Okay, so without any of this, without class ID, without enrollment key, student cannot enroll under your class and students cannot submit any paper. Okay, so bila dia dapat class ID, enrollment key, okay, create account, klik student, okay, masukkan class ID, enrollment key, okay. Kemudian masukkan user information, put in your first name, last name, email address and confirm email address. Okay. Okay, for email address, okay, digalakkan untuk menggunakan UiTM domain. Okay, untuk student, digalakkan untuk menggunakan domain UiTM. Okay. So I believe that most of the students, UiTM students, you have the UiTM emails. Okay. So sangat-sangat digalakkanlah untuk pelajar menggunakan domain UiTM. Okay, contoh macam UTM, dia dah wajibkan pelajar, tak kira pelajar postgraduate ke, undergraduate ke, nak enroll dalam kelas, kena gunakan UTM domain. Okay, so kalau mereka tidak menggunakan domain UTM, okay, dia akan digugurkan daripada kelas. Okay, so untuk UTM, so sangat-sangat digalakkan untuk pelajar gunakan domain UiTM.
Betul Cik Mazlan. Kalau saya boleh tambah, selepas ini pun kita akan mengambil langkah seperti UTM. Kita akan mengikuti jejak langkah UTM di mana pendaftaran pelajar yang tidak menggunakan email yang berdomainkan UiTM, bukan akaun iSiswa lah, akaun iSiswa pelajar ya, kita akan gugurkan juga.
Ya. Okay.
Terima kasih Cik Mazlan kerana highlight.
Okay, sama. Okay. Sebab ini kita nak mengelakkan daripada satu pelajar dia ada banyak akaun. Okay, contohnya kalau macam student yang tak tahu, okay, contoh dia nak enroll dalam lecturer A. Okay, dia tak ada account. Okay, dia guna method yang ni lah untuk dia create account. Dia guna Yahoo. Okay, lepas tu dia pergi kelas lecturer B, ada juga assignment untuk Turnitin. So dia kena enroll pula dalam kelas lecturer tu. So dia tak tahu, dia guna method yang sama, dia daftar lagi. Tapi dia guna email yang sama, tak boleh. So bila tak boleh, dia cuba untuk guna email lain. Contoh macam kelas lecturer A, dia dah guna Yahoo. Masuk kelas lecturer B, dia guna Yahoo, tak boleh nak daftar, dia guna Gmail pula. So consider satu pelajar dah ada 2 account. Okay, so sebenarnya satu pelajar boleh guna satu account untuk enroll dalam banyak kelas. Nanti saya akan tunjukkan lah. Okay, so just masukkan email, confirm email and then password untuk kita punya personal login password. Okay. And then confirm password. And then the secret questions. So you can choose your secret questions and put in the questions answer. Okay, so tujuannya adalah untuk sekiranya in future if we forgotten the password and then we would like to reset back the password. Okay, macam tadi kita kena jawab secret questions. Okay, so kita boleh masukkan, pilih secret question and masukkan jawapan. Okay, and then at the bottom you can see the user agreements. Okay, the Turnitin and user license agreement, you can go through if you have time. Okay, and then you can tick I'm not a robot and then just click I agree create profile. Okay, so once you create your account, this page you will see, for example. Okay, so kita boleh nampak institution name ataupun faculty name. Kita boleh nampak class ID, class name and instructor name. Okay, and then at the top here you can see the black bar, so you can see your name will be appear here, and then here student, so this is student account. Okay, student account. Okay, so macam mana kalau contoh student ni Muhammad Azman, dia dah enroll dalam kelas Turnitin demo. Okay, dalam masa yang sama dia nak enroll dalam kelas pensyarah lain. So macam mana? Okay, so dia tak perlu gunakan step yang pertama. Okay, step yang pertama ni dia tak perlu nak gunakan sebab dah ada account. Okay, so apa yang dia boleh buat? Okay, first of course kena dapatkan kelas ID dengan enrollment key untuk kelas yang satu lagi ataupun kelas lain. Okay, so bila dah dapat, kelas ID, just log in. Okay, contoh macam student ni Muhammad Azban, just log in and then you just click on the second tab here, enroll in a class. Okay, enroll in a class. You just click, so you just put in your class ID, enrollment key, and then you just click submit. Okay, you just put in the class ID, class enrollment key, and then submit. Okay, and then once you click submit, so you can see the class ID, class name, and instructor name. Okay, kalau kelas tu daripada fakulti yang sama, okay, kita boleh nampak kat bawah ni lah. Tapi kalau from the different faculties, you can see the faculty's name, class ID, class name, and instructor name. Okay, so untuk pelajar yang dah ada account, boleh log in. Tapi kalau terlupa password, reset je password. Tak perlu nak create account lagi, just reset back password. And then click second tab here, enroll in the class. Put in the class ID, enrollment key, and then submit. That's it. Okay. Alright. So untuk student submit paper. Okay. So pelajar kena klik pada class name. Okay. And then bila dah klik pada class name, kita boleh nampak class homepage, assignment inbox. Okay. Kita boleh nampak assignment title. Boleh nampak info. So bila pelajar dia point dekat info, dia boleh nampak instruction yang pensyarah bagi kepada student. Okay, contoh assignment instruction, please write between 100 to 200 words. So we can see, as a student, we can see the instructions here when you point to the info. Okay, when you point to the info. And then you can see the start date and due date. Okay, for your ATM, you don't have the post date. You can see the start date and due date. Okay, untuk students hanya ada submit or resubmit button only. Okay, depends on the settings, assignment setting from the lecturers. Okay, kalau pensyarah hanya allow students untuk submit sekali, so bila dah submit dah tak ada resubmit button lah. Tapi kalau pelajar boleh resubmit, boleh buat resubmission, so bila dia dah submit for the first submission, so dia akan ada resubmit button. Okay, so untuk submit paper, just click pada submit button. Okay, so untuk belajar pensyarah, so kita boleh submit paper menggunakan kaedah cut and paste upload ataupun single file upload. Okay, kalau cut and paste upload, okay, so masukkanlah kita punya submission title, cut and paste it here and then click upload. Okay, untuk single file upload, okay, so for the single file upload, put in the submission title. Okay, so the requirements for single file upload. Okay, the file must be less than 100 megabyte. Okay, so size file tu mesti kurang daripada 100 MB ataupun 800 pages. Okay, kurang daripada 800 muka surat. Okay, so kalau lebih daripada 100 ataupun lebih 100 megabyte ataupun lebih daripada 800 muka surat, tak boleh nak submit, dia akan ada keluar error. And the file types allow Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, WordPerfect, PDF, HTML as long as it is text documents. Okay, macam saya kata tadi, kalau student scan hard copy become image file, Turnitin tak boleh detect ataupun Turnitin tak boleh accept paper untuk dia generate report. Okay, yang PDF protected with password pun Turnitin tak boleh detect untuk similarity. Okay, kalau student guna Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint save as PDF, okay, baru Turnitin boleh detect. Okay, so untuk lecturer and students, you can choose the file either from this computer, Dropbox, or Google Drive. So for example, I choose from this computer. Okay, I choose the file and then open and then click upload. Okay, so once the paper uploaded, you can preview your paper here. Okay, and then on the left, you can see the details. Okay, you can see the author name, assignment title, submission title, file name, size, page count, word count, character count. Okay, so once you confirm this paper for submissions, you just click on confirm button here. Okay, so bila submission dah complete, okay, kita boleh nampak submission date here, date and time, dan juga submission ID. Submission ID adalah paper ID. So the digital receipt yang PDF tu saya kata tadi, digital receipt akan dihantar kepada email kita untuk keep track the paper ID. Okay, so digital receipt will send to the email to keep track the paper ID. Okay, and then pelajar boleh klik balik pada return to assignment list. Kalau setting pensyarah allow you to do resubmission, you can resubmit again and again and again until due date. Okay, so macam saya kata, kalau nak resubmit, make sure you resubmit sebelum due date of assignment. Okay, so kalau selepas due date 22 hari bulan, you submit lagi paper yang sama, so percentage dia akan tinggi sebab dia match dengan the previous submission yang kita submit sebelum due date. Okay, then kalau pensyarah allow students to see the report, you can see the percentage here. Okay, so when you see the percentage, so you can click to see the report, Turnitin report. So when you click, you can see the report. Okay, so you can see the report. So lecturer and students will have the same view. Okay, same view, but student don't have exclude button. Okay, student don't have exclude button. Okay, if students have, they will exclude everything to reduce the percentage. Okay, so as instructor, please do not share your instructor account to your student. Okay, please do not share your instructor account to your student. Okay, sebagai pensyarah, kita akan ada instructor account untuk Turnitin. Sebagai student, student ada Turnitin students account. Okay, for the students. Okay, so same view with lecturer and students, tapi students tak ada exclude button. Okay, so this one become 100% because during the training I keep submitting the same paper again and again and again. I set the standard paper repository, so become 100%. That's why you can see so many institutions here. SIE, MMU, Saito, Southern, SCCSI, the list of the institution. Okay. Ada soalan for students part? Very simple, straightforward. Ladies, gentlemen, doktor, ada soalan?
Ya, hasil part student ni memang straightforward kan. Kata kita ada soalan tadi, apabila pensyarah buat dua kelas, boleh ke student ini pilih kelas mana yang dia nak submit? As long as this information is provided to the students, then the students can actually they can actually see these classes on their dashboard.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Kalau student tu dia ada dua class details, dia boleh enroll dalam dua kelas. Kalau dia ada satu je lah dia boleh enroll. So
Betul.
once they enroll, ada assignments, they can submit lah. Kalau tak ada assignment pun dia tak boleh nak submit.
Betul. Provided ada assignment tersebut.
Yes.
Okay. Rasanya tak ada soalan dari pihak pelajar. How can a student know if the submitted assignment is a no repository status? Okay, so for the setting, whether it should be submitted to a repository or not submitted to a repository, so this is not under the jurisdiction of the students. So this settings is only available for the instructor. So pelajar dia tiada keperluan untuk pelajar tahu whether is repo ke ataupun tidak submit ke repo, tetapi pensyarah untuk kita create kelas tersebut kita harus berhati-hatilah. Katalah paper ni akan disubmit lagi, akan ada final version, then we wouldn't want to submit it to a repository. Okay, for those who aren't able to fill up the attendance form, I think you can email amirasahidan@uitm.edu.my. If we can have your email, Amira, can you input in the chat box? Right. Thank you very much, Encik Mazlan. For
Okay, last but not least.
Silakan.
Okay, sorry.
Silakan.
Okay, last but not least, okay, in your account, okay, you can see the black bar and then you can see the help button here. Okay, so when you click on the help button, okay, and then you click on Turnitin websites, okay, because we are using from Turnitin website. So from here, you can see the online guides for Turnitin admin, for instructor, and for the students. Okay, so you can go back, play around with it. If you have any issues for the instructor or for the students, you can always refer to the help center. Okay, or you can contact your Turnitin admin or sub admin. Okay. Alright, I think that's all from me. So thank you so much for your kind attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Happy using Turnitin. Stay safe. So saya pass balik pada Dr. Nadia. Thank you, Dr. Nadia.
Terima kasih Encik Mazlan. Thank you very much. Very informative session. I would like to remind everyone, just a friendly reminder, that the turn-in services provided by UiTM is solely meant for UiTM staff and students. So the account usage is actually closely being monitored by our office. With that being said, offering turn-in services to non-UiTM staff or student is strictly prohibited. Okay, so and lecturers and staff are not supposed to give out their accounts to others because they have instructors' account. So they are not supposed to give their account to students, yeah? Okay, so I really hope that this information session has been beneficial to all. Thank you for being with us, and please be informed that we will have not one but two forums on psychomotor skills as well as employability through digital portfolio this coming 30th. Okay, end of this month. So please click subscribe to our account and click on the bell so that you will get notifications for new contents. And for UiTM staff, don't forget to fill in the attendance form for your jam latihan. If you can't do that, then please email amirasahidan@uitm.edu.my. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and enjoy the rest of your day.